Welcome to another Quantum Conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Beautiful hearts, thank you for joining us for another episode in this Quantum Conversation Summit series. This is energy healing and well-being. Today, we are with Sacred Sexuality Priestess Alissa Jane, who is a beautiful teacher, a powerful teacher, a goddess here to empower you on light body. This is light body flight, and this is ascension practices we're talking about today. I want to welcome Alissa Jane to this beautiful conversation. Hi, Alissa.
Hi, Loren. Thank you for having me. And this is such an amazing opportunity. I'm so excited to be here with everyone. And let's awaken consciousness. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So, what we're going to be talking about is the art of light body ascension. And so, first, from a healing perspective, it's very interesting because the energy work that we do is literally what brings what energy work is needed to prepare for light body flight.
Yeah, this is a really important topic for us to understand as light workers. And this is the quantum world. This is the reality that is not solid. And this is why the reality that we're in is an illusion, because we feel separate, we feel solid, but it's an illusion. Everything is created from atoms. And these beautiful atoms of creation from source are spinning particles. And the spinning particles are spinning in space of the atoms. And the atoms are 99.9% space, infinite space. Everything we're looking at, our entire reality is space, is the consciousness of Source Creator. And we are living in a reality, a physical reality. So the consciousness has slowed down enough for us to experience it. And what we are at the brink of at this time of ascension on the planet is we are stepping into a new energy body where the frequency is speeding up for ourselves, for the planet. And the atoms, for many lifetimes, slowed way down because of densities, because of the programs that we are choosing to work through, our choice of initiation, the choices of ascension. So that's a really important aspect of the work we're doing, is to know we've chosen it. So that's maybe one of the first important parts of the work, is to claim our power, our empowerment of this process. And when it feels really challenging, we come back to this place of empowerment and we will immediately raise our vibration. So back to the atoms that are spinning, and they are spinning at a vibration. So for many lifetimes, the human body has been at a lower vibration as a choice. A big part of this because of the fall. Many, many, many years ago, thousands, hundreds of thousands of years ago. So this is an old story. And when the body is in a state of pure high frequency, the electrons are spinning at the speed of light. So when we are in pure flow And this happens where we are, even though our bodies are at kind of that signature base note, we've come in at a density, we are always touching that light speed, especially in meditation, in prayer, whenever we're doing our breath work, when we're doing yoga, when we're working out, when we're exchanging sacred sexual pleasure. Our bodies are hitting the point of light speed. So we're always going in and out of this experience with our electrons, with our atoms, and also with the programs that are in between the spaces. And this is the programs that we're working through: lack, limitation, disease, death, the emotional programs. And it is the emotional aspect that creates the densities and slows down the electrons. So when we are in a state of full light body flight, we are releasing resistance. And it doesn't mean we have to be perfect to get there, because we're already perfect. To get to the state of flow and a state of our light body in full light mode, we really want to let go of resistance. So the ways that we let go of resistance, we know meditation is number one. This is where the body can surrender. It's a practice, it takes time, and you will let go of the resistance and your atoms will start spinning faster. Sleep. This is a really important aspect to well-being. And we're so busy. We're living in such a high vibrational time. Our schedules are booked. And when they're not booked, we are booking them, and we are on social media and we're reading our emails. So there can be guilt and shame when we're tired and we want to rest, because our list of to-dos seems to never end. I like to think about too, maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, how that was different, how this has really sped up, and that we used to get a break more often, I feel like, and now we don't really get a break. So if you're feeling tired, take a nap, lay down. Going to horizontal, letting your body lay down, you immediately go into the quantum realm and your body will start to flow. You will go into that light body state. This is something we should do a couple of times a day. If you can let yourself lay down to horizontal and just let your energy flow back and forth in spirals, however you're wanting to go up and down your pillar. And if you can take a nap, take a nap. That will be amazing for your light body. I remember Alissa Transcendence Brown was talking about sleep. And she was saying how, like, anytime things felt frustrated or hard, she would just go to sleep. And I think about that often, and I don't always follow that advice. In fact, I will push myself, and I'll push myself a lot. And so I'm right there with everybody. And I know when I've overdone it, it comes back in every direction. So we have to be very aware of our energy. And that's another part of the practice, is awareness. And I think that kind of connects to the first aspect of empowerment, is our awareness that we're in control of our energy, not the outside circumstances around us.
Yes, and very good points. This immaculate awareness of our energy. And I think one of the simplest ways, you made so many good points. I'm going to circle back and ask you more specifics. But I wanted to say that with what's happening in the world right now, there are so many things that can distract our attention, that can hijack our attention. Yet when we are in this awareness of our energy, that is a big tool for discernment, right? Because if it's not feeling good with it, and it's not a cop out, maybe you want to address this a little bit. So many times, light workers we're just taught that we can't be dragged down. We have to raise our vibration, right? But when we look out at information coming our way, and there's a lot of information. There's a lot of information, misinformation, disinformation, information overload that can actually make us feel, well, first, it could be rather addictive, right?
Yeah.
It could be rather addictive, like draws us in. But then there's a crucial point of discernment. So
Yeah.
what do you do when you are faced with information that's coming in and it doesn't feel right? That's like with so much out there. There's so that's it's almost like 80% of the information out there is meant to put us in fear. Let's call that the matrix, if we will. What do you do then? And so going and sleeping, that's wonderful. So,
Yeah.
or just going and lying down horizontally. And then, so I will let you address that information. But you also said, let the energy flow. And then describe more of how we do that, what you're actually doing when you're letting the energy flow. 2 points there, 2 parts. Thanks.
Ah, this is really important stuff here, and especially the aspect of our emotions and not running away from the negative emotions, not judging them so much. I think that's something, especially as women light workers, we can almost get caught up in when we're hitting a low point, and then we'll just get into a spiral of guilt and shame around it. So the biggest aspect to that is let yourself feel your emotions. Let them rise up. That is the alchemical process that we're within the cells. And because we have the awareness, we've called in this great light. And there's a process to our healing that source will only feels like we hit points when we're like, this is more than I could possibly handle. We will never be given more than we can handle because we are loved, we are cherished, we are cared for. We're not meant to spontaneously combust. So, what happens along this healing process, because we've done our work, we've done it, and then all of a sudden we get to a point and it feels like, oh my goodness, it's all coming up again, or this is new stuff, or this is even more intense stuff. And it feels like then we'll feel guilt and shame. Did I backtrack? What am I doing wrong? Mm-mm-mm-mm. In fact, you're doing everything right. You're doing everything right. And when the body becomes healthier and more light is activated, then these old programs that were hiding in the cells, the light starts to move them and they come to the surface. And then all of a sudden, more unwork good enough. And then maybe handle that, you're going to get sick again. These voices. And so that think until we are at a place where it's just like the river. We don't have any attention to, okay? So we will all get there. And then the old voices, shadow programs from lifetimes ago, from this lifetime, but they will not impact, we'll just let them move through us and analyzing them. So
That
let's
is good
not,
to know because
yeah,
so many of us could just go down that dizzying spiral downward,
yeah,
or choose to just say, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But you did say the important thing, feel it. So I just want to reiterate what you said. When we
Yeah.
feel it and when we notice it, we're clearing it, whether we're realizing it or not. Some may not even realize that we're doing clearing work, but the
I love the way you just reflected that back. And it was empowering the way you said that, right?
Mhm.
So yes, let us be in charge of our emotions. And and if we need to express them, we have to make space for ourselves. So that's an important aspect about if we're feeling really negative, strong emotions, take time to close the doors and let yourself scream and cry. Really let them come out. Feel them in that way because those deep, dark emotions that are part of us. It's just part of the spectrum. So we're not judging them, and then having that perspective immediately lightens them. We have come into intense family lines. That is part of our choice. Patricia Diane talks about this so brilliantly about the intensity of where we're at in the planet and how we are family with intense circumstances and beings from the past, right? So it's all part of us. So when we can take time to feel them, the really hard ones. That is something that I've had to do for myself, and I talk to the other sisters and brothers doing it. And when we do our work and do this, we have great results. So don't be afraid to cry. And crying also is a big release. So like, how do we move our energy? Let yourself cry. Loren, you're a goddess at this. You're brilliant at letting your heart open and move energy through your tears, and you help let others know they're safe in that. So I thank you for that because crying is a really beautiful way to feel it and alchemicalize it so quickly using our inner ormus, our saltwater tears, right?
inner ormus.
So,
I love that.
yes,
Okay.
that's right. That's right. The elixir of life coming from within every time we're feeling those deep emotions. We're creating that inner gold. And when it runs down your face and it hits your lips, and I let it sink into my skin, and I know it's doing magic. So taking the time, the space to release tears, anger, frustration. And I would say it's important for us to know when we've hit the point of, I have to take space and not share this with another. We don't want to abuse the people around us, our partners, our family, our friends. So that's an important aspect of how we move our energy and feel it. Something that I do for my practice to get my energy moving, and I talk about this so often, is the heart breath. And this is backed by science. It is the most simple of spiritual shamanic priestess techniques. It is the the first thing we should do every day is just start breathing into the heart. The Heart Math Institute, if you do not know about it, go check it out today. They give the research about the power of the heart and talk about heart coherence. And this is because the heart is the first brain to read the field. It is reading and taking in all information first. It is also the holographic point of connection to source. So in every moment, our atoms are appearing and disappearing, and science can see this. And they feed back into the holographic source and then back into us, back into source and through the point of creation back into the hologram, feeding, creating this. So that is a flow. So when we focus on our heart breath, we are in complete flow with source. in and out, not only for us, but for all of creation. Because through our life force flow, our awareness, everything exists and we impact everything. So the heart breath is going to get things moving in your life, and it's going to help move blocked emotion, because the heart is where we're storing wounds, densities, fears. So when we spend time in the heart, we will move these energies in the simplest way. Another way to get your energy moving is exercising, dancing, singing, moving your frequency, doing whatever feels good to you. But we have to move our bodies every day. That's really, really important for our light body flight. And of course, as a sacred sexual priestess, when we allow ourselves and give time for pleasure, we are activating very powerful magnetics and electronics within our body. This does the work, as the magnetic and the electronics are positive and negative charge. They're going to move energy. They're going to do the flow for us. So this is our life force energy. When we experience pleasure, we're activating these magnetics and electronics. The movement of touching your skin brings that flow to the magnetics and the electronics within the atoms. And then, of course, if we can go into pleasure and more bliss, that is electronics and magnetics that are going to move the energy. And if you can experience an orgasm, that becomes super high vibrational magnetics and electrons. And this has been such a fundamental part, such a healing part for me, is working with the plant kingdom. For the plants, the gems, the minerals, the flowers, the crystals, they are pure life force flow. And the plants are holding, we could say, intensified light speed energy, momentum for us. They are holding the codes of ascension. The plants also are holding the DMT, which can help activate the greater awareness of the spiritual. With the plant kingdom, partnering with the plants, gems, minerals, and crystals is an important aspect to helping the light body.
Very good. Thank you. You know, it's reminding me of plant music, and I just want to share that it is so amazing how it uplifts no matter what we could be feeling. So that right there is proof. And
Yes.
let's make it even simpler than that. Walking in nature, being in nature always lifts our spirits, because the energy of the plants are there to support us, right? Is that how you see it? Why is that so important? How do you see that?
And this is connected to the greater story of balance and rebalance on the planet. And as we are balancing the feminine energy of safety again, so that the pink rose ray can be fully supported again on the planet, that is the biggest task of this planet. We can simplify it as that. What are we doing? We're just balancing the male and female and the child once again. And it was because of the density of the fall that it was too dense for that mother pink ray to survive fully on the planet. And that ray stepped back from our planet to let us have our initiation. So when we're thinking about, and it's her initiation, it's her choice, Mother Gaia. Her ascension is the most important thing. We're here to support her. We're here to have our experience, but it's really about her. So when we are taking the time to work with her in this intentional, conscious way, we're rebalancing the feminine. So we're giving the space within ourselves. When we're in nature, we allow the pink rose flame a place to be. We open up and we give the cup for that pink goddess love to come flow in. This is a feminine planet that we engage with her children, her flowers, her plants, her trees, her beautiful medicine. They are umbilical cord to her, right? So we are working different than right? The plants and the trees literally are umbilical cord to our planet. So when we take the time to go into nature and just sit and just be around the frequency, we are in balance because Mother Gaia, is balancing. So when we take the time to merge with her, we're balancing and we're going into a place of surrender, appreciation, gratitude. And that is the mother, the father, and the child coming together. So that's the way it comes in for me, Loren, when I really think about what the plants and the trees and the flowers are really doing for us is this balance of feminine, masculine, and child.
I love that. Thank you. Very well said. Very well said. I love it. And we're writing sticky notes in this summit. The plants and the pink rose, the pink ray is sticky note
That's right.
that we are, when we commune with nature, we're allowing that to flow. We're connecting with that. That's very beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. And so in our discussion today, this is already an activation, actually. We can feel the activation just from the words. And it feels so high vibrational, like our choice. And noticing the feelings and honoring the feelings, mastering our feelings. But you wanted to share some codes, actually, light codes. And I want to give you space for that. Can you tell us what's happening here? And if you want to share your screen, you can do that anytime when you're ready.
Beautiful. I'm so excited to share this because this is and move the energy and work with the planet and the energy of source. It is through the sacred rays, foundational. And of course, we have the ascended rays going into the 12 rays. But what I'm sharing today is I've focused on the 7 sacred rays. And this is maybe the simplest and we think it's kind of silly almost, right? I mean, the idea of when I was a little girl, I was always drawing rainbows, clouds, and these simple things that you think are very maybe childish or immature, but they are fundamental. There's a reason for it. It is fundamental. The idea that the rays and colors have gotten us excited since we were young. I mean, who doesn't love a rainbow catcher? When the rainbow catcher gets ignited, I chase it. I love it. It never gets old. In fact, it gets better and better every day. Which is one of the things I brought to treat, which was so amazing and is so connected to everything we're talking about, as this is what was the golden age of Lemuria, was this balance of understanding everything we're talking about and living in a place of union and light body flight and working with the rays. So one of the things I brought there were the rainbow catchers, because I know it's a simple thing that when you have around you, viewing the colors of the rainbow, the prism of the rainbow activates our awareness, our encodement to the rays that we hold. Each one of us has come in very fully holding the codes of certain rays. And we express ourselves through these rays. And we talked about it a lot in the retreat. We talked about especially the blue ray. And it was we sit with the energy of the blue ray. And one of the things that really highlights is that I feel very connected to planet being. And that was something I know, Loren, you and I talked about. And one of the words they used to describe the blue ray, this came in through Shekinah Rose, is the lost ray. And I'm sure that we decided it's because we feel like we're not connected to anything, maybe home. And this is secrets and knowledge that never gets old, and we can continue to sit with them. Are activated through all the rays as we keep them. The essence of breathe into your heart, let the ray come through your heart, and there's many prayers as well out there. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to take the sweater off. So one of the books that every light worker should have is The Seven Sacred Rays. This is a fundamental book, and it was where she brought it in on Mount Shasta. This is where she's channeled much of this information from. Aurelia, we thank you. Beautiful goddess, thank you. And you might have to now publish more of these, for she doesn't keep a lot of them in print. Such an important piece of work. So thank you for sharing this. And this is a big part of what I was inspired by creating these templates to help people work with the seven sacred rays. So I'm going to share, I have created, yes, there they are, Beautiful of Life. And I love the flower of life because it's so simple and it's so beautiful. All creation is following the pattern. This is the code for all of creation. So having flower of lives around us is really beautiful. This gets them around, hanging them on your walls, keeping them on your wallpaper and on your phone. The flower of life will bring your life into order. I've always known this. I've always had a lot of them around. So these flower of lives, I'm also an artist, and I love creating with source, co-creating with source. I've hand colored these. Then I brought them into Photoshop. I love Photoshop also. And I've layered them with colors, crystals, flowers. Then I spent time with each one, and I brought in the masters of the ray, the kohans, boots, and the complements, the crystals, the colors. All the elements of the ray are encoded into the templates. In the planet, within an ashram that I'm co-creating with the beloved. And it is anchored with the master crystals. Each of these templates have been anchored into the master crystalline grid line system. They are also layered with all the Reiki symbols and codes. This allows you to receive whatever your higher presence needs. You can just sit with them, you could view them. I've been working with them and I'm loving them. And this is where I feel really fulfilled by my work, where I'm creating something that I'm like watching myself create it because I'm working with the beloveds. And after it's done, it's very kind of Rumpelstiltskin, like, did I make this? and and then I'm working with it and I am seeing the results, working with these templates. So I'm so excited to share them. I have printed them out. I have created all different sizes and you can print them out. They're very beautiful. Big ones, little ones. So I've made a great package that you can work with these individually. And then as I was working with each one, I spent time encoding them, letting the light encode themselves, just being that channel. And it was intense. Like I almost fell asleep for each one because the energies coming in are so powerful. And it took some time to go through these. And as you're looking at them, as I'm talking about them and you're looking at them, you are the 7 rays. And this is frequency. Each ray is at a different frequency, and that is why it is expressed through that color. And each ray is holding qualities that we need for our ascension process. So we can simplify our work and we can work with the rays alone. If we were just doing one thing, it would be very effective to just work with the rays. So in the book, The 7 Sacred Rays, she has beautiful prayers, invocations, and information to support your journey with the rays. But we can simply go into our heart, ignite the color we want to work with in our heart, and then consciously move it through our body or to your projects, to your family, to your homes. Every day I work with always the violet and the golden flame and the emerald, and then I will bring in other rays as guided. I start in my heart, I let it move throughout my body. I see it flowing over my hands so that everything I touch will be graced with the rays. I then let it flow into the planet. I imagine it going into all of my work, my bank account, all my subscriptions, my home, all my relationships. So this is the way we can work with the rays. Another aspect to the 7 sacred rays, and as you're looking at this Flower of Life template that has all of them, the first ray is the blue ray at the top, and it goes clockwise. The second, the gold, the third, the rose pink, the fourth, the white ascension, the fifth, the emerald, the sixth, the resurrection, which is gold, violet, and ruby, and the seventh, the violet ray. Each of these rays is amplified on a day of the week as a gift to us, to the planet. So we can work with a specific ray more fully on that day. And that gives us a focal point, a sense of our work. What do we do with the rays? Well, you just call it in and see what it has to offer you. share a little Reiki. But before I do, Loren, is there anything you would like to add?
I love this, this creation
Thank you.
that you have come up with based on the sacred text of the rays. And I just want to point out that the images, if we look at them, and actually, if we almost blur our eyesight or soften our eyes, we see so much more. Like the Blu-ray up at the top, it's like a snowflake, right? We can see like a snowflake to the left. We can see a sub pattern within the
Yes.
pattern. So it is beautiful. And I think my ray, but I love the light, beautiful. You called that what? Which one did you call
That's the
that?
white ray.
The white diamond. Look at that. So beautiful. Just by looking at this image, so much as it's happening here. There's a calmness in that we can go into.
Yes.
And so we're excited to have you do a little Reiki with
Beautiful. Love
this.
how you immediately got to the depth to let yourself go into that place up out of the screen, and it will show you to a place now where you're just gently, and as you feel guided, you can just close your eyes as well. We welcome in the beloved overlights, the guides, angels, guardian angels, empowerment and ascension. Surrounding each choose to receive, you will receive what you need in this time. Oh, clear Reiki rainbow plasma light chamber around the homes, property. Need it. Freedom, free will now, the sacred space. Very good, very good, very good. Each one of you that is receiving is laid on a beautiful crystal table, temple space just for you, held within your own unique chamber. And Archangel Michael stands at your feet. And my higher presence is at your head, bringing in the codes and frequencies now. And clearing, activating, moving your pillar, each one's pillar from source to source, head to feet. Is being moved. That's it. Light points activating on the bottom of each one's feet and showing blue, beautiful blue light points as we are being anchored into our Gaian self as blue rays. To activate circuitry and nadis along the body. And the beautiful sacred rays are coming in now, aligning perfectly with their chakra, their corresponding elements. Each one getting an infusion now. We're going to start with the violet. And the wings, opening the heart. Yes, letting crystal violet fire flow into your body, through your heart, your wings, your shoulders, up into your crown, flowing down your legs, down your feet, down your pillar, And up your pillar. Beautiful crystalline codes awakening now, coming into the each one's field as you are each one doing your own alchemy that is needed and necessary through the violet flame. Oh, very good, very good, very good. And it is now followed by gold. Liquid golden light streaming through you and out into your field, into your home, into all of your work, your relationships, accounts, business, connections, and beyond into your awareness of political structures, systems. Yes, the awareness now. Now the beautiful blue flame is coming in. Oh, God's will and order. Very good. Seeing a beautiful energy flowing now of balance, and especially balancing the root, the sacral, the gut. Yes, that, yes, everyone just letting your seat, feeling it like your big, beautiful being filled now to help everyone anchor in and be grounded, coming into your bodies and letting yourself be present as you're moving any needed densities. We are in a new place of empowerment on this planet and we can handle the densities. They just flow right through us. That's it. And this new foundational alignment is going up to the throat and the third eye. Archangel Michael is placing his beautiful sword Excalibur, activating and magnifying the blue ray all the way up to your crown. And it's poking out of the crown now, letting any extra debris and static flow out the head. Yes, very good. One, which is being activated by all 7 rays now, and action each one anchoring in. And these newer assignment templates support each one perfectly on your path of abundance. There you go. Your your rainbow and your pot of gold. Love, bliss, passion, fulfilled. And activating as beings of light, fully aligned, upgrading it, activating it. It is now being held within a cocoon of white light, each one being this, upgrading, integrating. I'm hearing for 36 hours. Upgraded awareness. Each one, upgraded, updated, externally aligned, integrated perfectly, or anything else better, it's still freedom and free will to so is done, beloved. Thank you, amen. Thank you. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you, beloved. Amen. Amen, amen. Thank you. Whew, that was fun.
I
how do you
am
feel?
elated. I am so charged. And we see how important this is and how powerful this is to bring in. I love it. Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
So beautiful. And this is ancient. It's so ancient that's what makes it feel so good. I
Ah,
love it.
yes. Ancient in a fundamental way, right?
Yeah.
Primary, ancient, fundamental, and easy, easy. Easy to think of a color, easy to imagine it, easy to work with it. So thank you for receiving. And I'd love to just leave it up as we continue for a few more minutes to just let the energies integrate as we keep finishing our conversation.
Yes, beautiful. Okay, so I love it because these are actually part of your beautiful course. Your courses, Alissa, are so high vibrational,
Mm.
especially the sacred sexuality. And we'll make sure that those previous courses are available as a bundle on this webpage. So I'm going to invite our audience to scroll down on this webpage where you're watching this video. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll find a link in the description box. But this is a beautiful opportunity to go even deeper to this topic. This is a two-part webinar coming up with Alissa Jane, and we'd love to learn more about it. Can you share with us, please?
Mm. I'm so excited for this upcoming Mystery School series. And we are going to focus on Parton Sacred Rays to support and activate our light body and the ascension practice. So the practice of ascension, and this is, I say the ascension practices because we have to keep going on a daily basis with our ascension work. So that's what we're going to talk about. And because life is so busy, and I live in the Northeast, I live an hour away from New York City. I am living in, I would say, a modern day Atlantis. And it is where I'm supposed to be, anchoring in the light here. But also that I understand firsthand the busyness and how busy life can be and how many areas you can be pulled into. So part of my practice for many years now has been, how do I integrate being a priestess into every moment of my life? How do I do this? And I love doing it. So we're going to talk about these practices. We're going to talk about things that you can bring into your life so that you're always doing your work, but you're still doing all the other things that you want to do right now with your family, with your work, all the other things that we're being asked to do right now. So this is a really important aspect of the ascension process, is balance. We're also going to talk a lot about the plants. We're going to talk about how to use the plants, what plants are going to support you for what things. And this is an opportunity for each one to partner more fully with their practice and bringing in, as we call the Lemurian ascension diet, the Lemurian conscious, intuitive practices of living. So we're going to talk about the Lemurian diet. We're also going to, as a group, and this is going to be really, really exciting and special, each one will have the opportunity to do 2 plant-powered activations. I was guided to set this course up Mondays. Now, because of that, we have 2 weekends in between. And over the weekends, we will have the plant-powered activations. I'm going to be giving the protocols and the overview. I will be doing this. Each one of you can do whatever you want to Friday through Sunday. I will also be sending out alchemical Reiki during these times too. So whether or not you just want to receive the Reiki or more intensified conscious way, this is a containers. The container within the container within the container. And I'm going to be doing it too. And this is a big part of how I have done my ascension work over the years, is working with community, working with community of friends that support each one. And when we make choices together intentionally to do something like a plant powered activation, we will have magnified exponential results. If we just did it on our own, it would not be as powerful. So I'm very excited because I know I'm going to receive an upgrade during this time as well, and each one of you will as well. Whether the other part of this is we're going to take the guilt and the shame out of it, and we're just going to talk about the best way we can balance and live on this planet. We're going to be working with the rays. So as part of this course, you will receive all of the package of the rays to work with on your own. And I'll talk about that and more and more. I'm also offering, if you feel like you want more one-on-one support, I'm offering a one-on-one package for people that are maybe struggling more with ascension symptoms, or perhaps you're dealing with some intense physical diseases that you're ready to get over. It could also be emotional diseases that you're ready to get over, and you want to partner more fully with these ascension practices. So this is a little bit about the package. I'm so excited for those of you that hear the call. The temple is being prepared.
And as soon as someone registers or even makes the intention to sign up, the temple doors are open in our life and in our hearts. It's beautiful. That's quantum in that way. Yes. And so we mentioned that there is also an option for the other programs that you've taught. That is so beautiful. And it's the Sacred Sexuality series, which is really powerful. And it's also the I Am Flow, I Am Tone Flow, which is also another wonderful program from you. That's included. Again, people can scroll down on the web page and find options for all of this. But there's something more here. The personal sessions. Can you talk about what happens in the personal sessions with people?
Yes. They are so powerful. It is one of the favorite things that I do, is to connect one-on-one with people and their process. And it is an honor and a pleasure to hold the space. And with all of the work that I do, I have created the structure of the ashram, of these sacred places to work with within the planet. And then, of course, as it is a portal in itself, we can then work in all other dimensions. So the one-on-one sessions, we go into a sacred space, we see what the guides bring in. There's always great information, insights that the guides will share. You can have your questions answered. It's one thing that sometimes I'm like, well, what do I do as an intuitive? And the reason I feel that way is because until I'm doing it, it doesn't really happen. But as soon as I have a one-on-one session, it's like, oh, this is what it is. And the images and the information from source come in very fully. So I can help bring in messages. I can help guide people in the right directions. And it is such an honor and a pleasure to do this. We also always go into a meditation, and just like we did that Reiki healing work together, I love to do that. So, whatever I'm guided to do, I can do healing, alchemy, or perhaps just guided meditation together to help support your practice more fully. So the sessions are very unique. Each one is just perfect for what you need at the moment.
Yes, and actually, you can ask any question. It is such a safe place.
That's
So get risky or get juicy, if you will, and just let Alissa take care of that energy as she's a facilitator for you to move through it or bring in the newness or express new things. It's beautiful. Thank you for that, Alissa. Really wonderful. Again, I want to share this opportunity with everyone listening. Be sure to scroll down on this webpage and check it out. See all that is included there. It really is lovely. And we're so grateful for this. Thank you so much, Alyssa. Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. We are activated from today, and from the softness that you bring, Alyssa, it is confirmation that we can be this from within, that by slowing down, we're actually speeding up our atoms. We're actually lighting up our light body. And so this conversation in itself was a beautiful activation in that. So we are changed and we are shifted. Thank you. As we say goodbye, I want to give you a moment for final thoughts here on this.
Each one of you is a brilliant light. And each one of your light is making a difference for the planet and for humanity. Even if you are home alone, or even if you don't feel like you're doing very important work, you are, just by being, by having the awareness, observing the world through you and expressing your light. Thank you, soul family. You're doing a great job. It's my honor and pleasure to co-create and to light up the world with you. I love you all. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. We're excited to work with you and the teachings that you share. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Yes, your light matters. Your love matters. And we thank you for shining it so brightly. Everyone, from our hearts to yours, namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.